To go back out.
It's really good. I was getting bored.
What is the plan this week? Are you going to practice all 6 days?
No, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday off, and then Monday through Wednesday when we get down there. Similar model to what we've used the last 5 years. Slight tweak here or there in practice, but same number of days.
Is Riley back practicing today?
Practiced a little bit today. Still not 100%, but today was the first day. We've just been running and lifting for the past 2 weeks, and he did get some work, but I would consider it light at best if you were to describe it.
Is Michael Lisa practicing anything?
Mike came out and ran around a little bit today also. Again, he's been running and doing the conditioning the past 2 weeks, and he came out in his gear today, and so he's still a ways off, but it was good to see him run around a little bit.
Any other guys you expect back? Any offensive linemen or anything?
No, probably the biggest question mark listed as I think Jeff would advise me to say day to day would be Braden Hansen. He's the one that's furthest away or has the most uncertainty. Anything else?
Can you just talk about the offensive linemen? How they're will you have with Braden notwithstanding? Will you have pretty much an intact group for?
Yeah, obviously without Braden, but Blair will step in that capacity. So there's not a significant change really in our team from the last 3 weeks-ish. I would say in the surrounding areas other than quarterback.
You spent last week on the recruiting trail. How's that coming? Is it about wrapped up, or where do you stand there?
No, it's really good. A bunch of really positive things happened for us last week, and I'm really optimistic where we currently sit. A few junior college players of emphasis still to kind of close out on, I would say, and then we're about done.
Are you still looking at defensive line? Is that the main
We're looking basically in terms of needs left, without getting specific. Our line positions through junior colleges is kind of where the focus remains.
Do you know how many scholarships you have remaining?
It changes a little bit based on current plans of our players, missions returning, based on timing here or there at transfer. So rather not say specifically, but O-line and D-line JC-wise is probably specific enough.
How much do you use bowls and the success you've had as a selling point in recruiting?
It's always addressed just because we've never not gone. And so when players consider coming to BYU, they're going to play an extra game. That's the beginning. The next part becomes how well we play in those. And it matters to me to play well, and it matters to me to finish the season on a high note. It matters for our seniors and providing that experience. And I just like the feeling a lot better when you end on that note. Not only having a great experience at the game, but
does the bowl itself matter to the kids?
Which game?
Yeah, like where you're going, whether it's Vegas or wherever.
I used to think so. I think now it's more the opponent they play. And then as they get into this week, once they get there, I think they're just happy to be wherever they are. And so I haven't noticed much different reaction of the different games we've been to. They just like going to play one more time.
So you have San Francisco left under the contract, and then going forward, what would be your preferences then?
I don't have really ideal preferences. I know that 3 years ago and even last year, there are conference bowls that were, when contracts were ending, they'd already contacted us saying that they would have a sincere interest because of not only they can expect us to be there, but we travel so well. And so it'll be interesting to see how that comes, but that we've kind of been reached out to over the last couple of years pretty heavily. It'll be interesting to see if that follows through and where we might end up.
Do you like the rotation thing that you've got going?
Yeah, I do. It's just different experiences, and easy for players, coaches, fans to get entitled when you go to the same game a number of times. I think formerly BYU saw it in the Holiday Bowl. We saw it for however many years we went to the Vegas Bowl, and sometimes it's just nice to have a change. But I think that's more important to maybe the outside perspective than maybe inside.
After the New Mexico State game, you said at first blush that Riley would be the starter. Are you going into preparation this week with that still in mind, or
it's hard to at this point because he's not healthy and taking all the reps. So at this point, we have to plan on James working and going forward, and then just wait to see where Riley catches up. We've got time, but Riley's not healthy enough right now to be considered as the starter yet.
You were down in San Diego last week at the Poinsettia stuff, and someone had asked you about the Colorado thing. You said you really had no idea. And last year you said you were offered a job.
Yeah.
Do you interview or you entertain offers? How's that work?
So a year ago, It was very specific, and there was a sincere interest, and I did interview. And then in this particular case, when I was asked, there wasn't really anything I knew about it. There became interest after I was asked, after Cincinnati's coach then decided to do something else. But again, things, they happen so quickly and etc. But there was no interview. There was interest expressed, but there was no interview. And so yeah.
So are you open, or are you taking it on a selective basis?
Oh, I would say it's definitely selective would be too mild of a word. I'm really happy here.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.